Hey everyone, I'm Steph. I am a stay-at-home mom with 3 little kids under 5. I'm super busy. 2.5 years ago, my life was completely upside down. I was a hot mess. I couldn't keep appointments organized. I couldn't keep my house organized. I was always getting frazzled and overwhelmed, and I was completely buried in laundry and dirty dishes, and well, it was a mess. So I started the channel, The Secret Slob, in order to give myself some accountability to get myself on track and get organized. I watched all kinds of YouTube videos, I got on Instagram, I followed blogs, I used everything I could to get myself on track. Eventually, I found my way to the Flylady system. I gave it a few tweaks, made it my own, and I've made it work for me now for the past 2 years. I no longer struggle with the same disorganization and mess that I was living in before. Now I have a mostly clean home. I still have 3 little kids, and my life is more organized. I don't miss appointments. I don't forget things as often. It just feels so much more calm and peaceful. So because I have been there, I've been a complete slob, totally disorganized, didn't know where to start. I want to share with you my #1 habit, the biggest thing I've learned in my journey that has helped me grow into a more calm, peaceful, and organized person, and that is focusing on progress and not on perfection. So I know it's hard to think of a slob as being a perfectionist. Usually you think of a perfectionist, their house is going to be pristine. But I was in fact a complete perfectionist, and I was paralyzed by this perfectionism. Especially after I had kids, if my house was messy and I didn't have time to clean the entire thing, I wouldn't even start. If I didn't feel like I could do a perfect job, I wouldn't do anything. I was completely focused on my life being all or nothing. I would find a system I wanted to implement and attempt to implement it all in one day. And when I couldn't change every habit that I had in one day, I would feel like a complete failure. And this cycle just kept going and going. I would work like a dog for 5 hours on the weekends to get my house to be perfect and pristine looking because someone was coming over, or it just had finally driven me crazy enough. And then it would be clean for about 2 minutes, and it would start getting messy again. And because I had no system to maintain it, it just got worse and worse and worse until I did another 5 or 6 hour stress clean to get it clean again. It was a horrible way to live. Another thing I would do as a perfectionist is I would, put the cart before the horse, decide I wanted to implement a system, go out, buy everything I needed, all these fancy containers, come home, pull everything out of closets and cupboards, decide, I was gonna be perfect and organized, and it was gonna look perfect, just like it does on Pinterest. But life isn't really like Pinterest. And so when I started to do it, it took a lot longer. I really didn't know what I was doing, and I usually ended up with a bigger mess than I had to start with. A lot of people think that they can't get organized or they can't keep a clean house because they're lazy, but it's often not the case. You have to look at why it's feeling intimidating. Is it because you want to get everything done? Is it because you're waiting for a specific day like Monday or the beginning of a month and you're going to start then, but you don't really want to start now? Today I want to share with you how you can get past that, how you can start right now. Start getting yourself organized right now, getting your house cleaned up, and getting your mind clear of all of that clutter by starting today with a little bit of progress. As perfectionists, we need to stop living in the future. Stop thinking in terms of, I will start on Monday or I will start December 1st, but today I'll just make a big mess. The #1 secret I have found to getting your house clean right now and keeping it clean, it's starting today, right now, with one small task, focusing on getting that done, celebrating it when you do, and carrying on. Eventually that progress will snowball and you'll see a lot of really big changes. I'm sure you've heard the phrase, how do you eat an elephant? And the answer is, one bite at a time. So let's talk about your house and your disorganized life as being that elephant. You're not going to be able to take it down in one big bite. I know that would be so nice, and I wish I had a magic wand for everybody to say, you're organized and clean, you're organized and clean, but I don't. So we have to focus on one small chunk of it at a time. And every time you get something done, I want there to be a little celebration, a pat on the back. Just feel good about yourself. We should not be feeling like we got something done, but we didn't get something else done. We got something done and it's done. And that is enough to celebrate. So the first thing we're gonna do when we focus on progress is recognize our limitations. The two common limitations people have are time and energy. For me, I have 3 little kids. My biggest limitation is time. My kids take up a ton of my time. I get very little free time. And so I can only focus on projects that I can squeeze into those little bits of time. If I try to pick something bigger that I really don't have time for, either I focus on that and my kids get, ignored, which really never goes well, or it doesn't get done and I feel overwhelmed and discouraged. Another limitation people have is energy. Maybe you're sick right now or you're recovering from something. Maybe you've had a new baby. Focus on tasks you have the energy to complete and then take breaks when you need them. Please don't burn yourself out trying to get organized. It won't feel good in the end and it won't be maintainable. So going forward, when you have a project you want to tackle, maybe you want to declutter a closet or you want to reorganize your bedroom, I want you to break it down into bite-sized chunks. Hey, you might have a day when you're like, I've got time, I've got energy, I'm going for it. And you should, that's awesome. But if you don't have that one day, break it down. 5 minutes is better than nothing. 2 minutes is better than nothing. Doing something is better than nothing. Doing something and taking a break is better than doing a lot and then never doing anything again because you're so burnt out. It's important that we don't get ourselves into more of a mess than when we started. And I know it's true. Sometimes things have to get worse before they get better. But if you have a closet, let's break it into sections and do it section at a time. Or your kitchen can be organized 1 drawer at a time. There is no need, if you don't have the time and the energy, to pull everything out of your kitchen all at once, because if you don't have the time to put it back, who knows when it's gonna happen. One of the best and easiest ways to focus on progress is to develop routines and habits. Routines and habits that you are doing every day until they become automatic. So these are going to be little things like making your bed every day, getting dressed in the morning every day, brushing your teeth. That's probably one that you've already got down. It's not even something you have to think about because it's become automatic. What I have found is the easiest way to start building these routines and habits is pick 1, maybe 2 things if you feel like you have energy and really just focus on those. Once you feel like it's starting to happen automatically without you having to think about it and without it taking up a lot of your energy, add something else. I always encourage people to choose the things that are, the most critical to maintaining their home. So for me, the 3 things I focus on no matter what are getting my dishes done, getting a load of laundry done, and getting dressed. I feel like those 3 things are the key components of me having a good day. We need dishes to eat off of, I need clean clothes to wear, and then getting dressed in the morning so that I'm ready to go for the day just makes me feel ready, gives me a better outlook, and feels like I can really tackle the day. As you're making more and more progress, you'll find it's easier to kind of build that snowball, add more habits, and you're getting more done in a day. But that being said, and this is where we're gonna start comparing progress and perfection. If you're always working on your house, just a little bit at a time, it's probably never going to look perfect the way it does when you do a 5 or 6 hour power clean. However, it's also never gonna look the way it does when you avoid cleaning for a day or a week or a month and then have to do that power clean. You'll never get back to the place where it's just a complete disaster. So you're doing a little bit every day and it never looks perfect, but it always looks pretty good. So use habits and routines daily to focus on making that progress and just keeping your house going. It's never gonna look perfect, so let's just get rid of that idea right now, but you're always going to be making progress. And you'll find that as you do these habits and routines, everything's just gonna keep getting easier and you'll be able to tackle more of those bigger projects because you're not using all of your energy up on those daily habits. So the third and most empowering lesson I have learned from going from a complete slob to, pretty good, is realizing when good enough is good enough. I love Pinterest. I love looking at these dreamy pantries and kitchens and homes where everything is decorated and set out perfectly and their tablescape is just gorgeous. But it's not really real life, is it? That's goals, that's dreams. I see reality TV stars stacking their Oreos perfectly in their glass jar and I think, oh, that would look gorgeous. But I don't have time for that. That's not real life. So what I need to do is focus on finding a place that's in between those dreams and real life. Pinterest and Instagram and social media and reality TV, that's fun. Those are fun things to watch and get inspiration from, but we also need to remember we live in the real world, in real life, where we maybe don't have time to stack our Oreos in a clear jar so they look perfect all the time. Hey, if that's what you want to spend your time on doing, you do you. But if you do not have the time to get the basics done, you probably don't have time to be stacking Oreos. So deciding that something is good enough is another way for us to heal from feeling that weight of perfectionism. Deciding when you've done enough with the time and energy that you have, you've done a good enough job. We are not running the 100-meter dash at the Olympic finals. We are cleaning our house. Good enough is good enough. As a collective, we need to realize that everybody's struggling with getting their housework done in some way, shape, or form, whether it takes them a ton of time or it burns them out or they're not doing it at all. And when someone comes over to your house, they are not looking to nitpick your dusting or your vacuuming. And if they are, they're probably not someone that you really need in your life anyways. They're there to see you and enjoy you and the person that you are. So I'd love you to focus on self-care and taking care of yourself so you can be a better person in your life for those people. House cleaning has to happen, but realize when good enough is good enough. Spend that time, that energy that you have, get it done the best you can, and then let's move on and enjoy life. All of our life doesn't have to be folding laundry. So lastly, I want to share a couple of my really practical tips for getting over perfectionism. Number one, use a timer. So today I want you to go into a room that's just driving you crazy. Maybe it's your kitchen, maybe it's your pantry. Set a timer for 5 minutes, and then I want you to work your butt off. Get it as clean as you can in 5 minutes, and when that timer goes off, you stop. You stop. No matter where you are, no matter what you've got done, stop. This is how we're going to practice not falling down these perfectionism cleaning tunnels where we can't stop until it's done, where we can't stop until it's perfect. We stop when our time runs out. Tomorrow, set that same timer for 5 minutes, go into the same room and work for 5 more minutes. You will be amazed at how much you're getting done without getting burnt out. Everybody can do 5 minutes, and it just seems to start taking care of itself. So try that today. 5 minutes on the timer, the room that's driving you the most crazy, and just go. The second super helpful tip I have for destroying perfectionism and stopping it in its path is making a daily checklist. Decide what is most important to get done in your house. So like I say, for me, it's laundry, dishes, and getting myself dressed in the morning. Put those 3 things on a list, or the 3 things that are most important to you. Get those 3 things done and stop. Go spend time with your family. Go take care of yourself. Go do something for you. Let's stop focusing on getting everything done today, right now. Those are not maintainable habits. Focus on the time you have, the energy you have, and what is going to make the biggest difference in your life today, right now. So I hope going forward, you are going to decide to leave perfectionism behind, going to focus on progress, going to focus on doing things till they are good enough, and give yourself that time back. Not only are you getting time back where you're not procrastinating cleaning, because I know I used to spend a ton of time literally just looking at my mess, but you're getting time back because you're not spending so long trying to get it perfect and then not being able to maintain it. So start today, 5 minutes in a room, or write down a list of 3 things you want to get done. Once they're done, go do something for yourself. Take care of yourself so you have the energy to take care of the others around you. I love being a part of this. I hope you found something helpful from me today. If you want to get started using routines and checklists, you can head over to my website, www.thesecretslob.com. I have all kinds of free printables and resources. You can make a daily checklist for yourself to keep you on top of your routines. But remember, the most important thing is that you make it work for you and use the time and energy that you have right now. Enjoy the rest of the summit. I hope I'll talk to you very soon. Bye.